Dwight says, hey guys, schema question for Marco. Is it a good idea to make main entity our website, or should we point to Gsite GMB? Also, is it a good idea to put S3 ID in our add ID schema section, or would it be better to leave it out so competitors don't find it? Interested to get your opinion. Well, that was specifically just to you, Marco, so I'll turn that one over to you.
Yeah, but that's not how the main entity works.
No, it's not.
No, not at all. Again, I'm going to direct you, Bradley, if you care to share your screen, to main entity of page in schema.org. Let me see.
Right there.
Because
main entity
it's
of
a
page
creative
or main
work.
entity.
It's a creative work, URL, it's a thing. But if you go to the JSON LD, like click on JSON LD, it gives you the example of what it should be. Right? It's at context, at type, main entity of page, which is, now they give you a subdomain in that case, but that's the main entity of the page.
Right. So if I can just add to that briefly. So here's the thing, guys. Like if you've got different elements on the page that are marked up, then that's what the main entity of page comes into play, because it's what of those marked up elements of the page is the main entity of the page. Does that make sense? So for example, that's where I was talking about over the last few weeks. This question's come up a few times, but I used to just put I used to create organization schema, and it would go site wide, even for like a multi-location, lead gen business or for a client or whatever. Let's say they had multiple locations. What I would do is I used to put organization schema site wide. So that would be global structured data, right? It would be added globally to the site. But then on each individual location page, I would add location or local business structured data. Well, unless you nest or connect those data items correctly, then that ambiguates the page, because Google doesn't understand whether the organization schema is the main entity of the page or the local business schema is the main entity of the page. And that's where something like the main entity of page designation would help to clarify that. But unless those two pieces of data are still connected properly, it's still going to be treated as two separate pieces of structured data, which is what is incorrect. So that's where, like, again, if you were to mark up, say, for example, article markup, and you have image markup, video markup, blog, the actual article markup for the entire page, but then you have individual elements marked up, then that's where the main entity of page could come in to help disambiguate that. Is that correct, Marco?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, not only that, the main entity, yeah, but I don't want to get into all that because it gets too technical. The main entity can also be a named entity. The main entity could be a supporting entity of the main entity, and that's just getting way more intricate than we can go into. I mean, I would do this in a 1-hour webinar focusing only on that, on schema, right? And all these different attributes that you can use to solidify the entity, the main entity, the supporting entities, and however it is that you're looking to push that page or post. Go to schema.org, man. Go to schema.org and look through it. And you'll see the wealth of information that you can provide through that main entity in schema.org.
Yeah, and I was just going to see if there's any like help files that talk about connected data. I mean, Schema app has some help files, but it's very specific to their app itself, which I use Schema app myself just because I don't have the patience to go through it the way that Rob does, although I know he's created a lot of really good templates. But I use Schema app just for my own projects, and they've got some really good help files, but it talks about how it teaches Schema on and how to create it through their app. So it does give you some kind of like conceptual understanding, but it's also very specific to their app. But that might help you to get a better understanding of what it is that you're supposed to do. So